and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different. Welcome back to the Kashim Friendly Showmatches number 5. I'm, of course, Showslight VIP, and with me, I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat, by these two amazing players as well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to a sporadic show match series. Of course, a big shout to Kashim. He's the person behind all these show matches, at least when it comes to organizing them. And we are featuring two amazing players, Future and for Jimmy. They're going to be duking it out in a best of 5 full series. Oh, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. And let's go. We're diving into game number 1. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Raditz Station as the starting map, we have the American Terran player, the Yellow Terran representing Matchuino Esports. It is Future. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss player from the land of Germany, representing his new team, representing Freiburg Esports. It is for Jimmy. Here we go. Okay, for those that are curious, this is a best of 5 show match between these two lovely players. It is going to be loser's pick, and the starting map was chosen by yours truly, was chosen by myself, because I'm an animal and I don't get enough Raditz Station. So whenever I can, Raditz Station is going to be chosen, so this is going to be our starting map of choice. Not the most balanced of maps, but I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to spice things up a little bit. I do see a couple of people asking, like, yo, new maps? New patch? Question mark. Alas, not this time. Maybe next time, maybe next time. For the time being, we're sticking with the current ladder map pool and the current patch as well. But I'm sure in the future, tournament organizers are going to be more than willing to embrace the chaos of the new maps and try to test them out. We might do the same, actually. Now that I think about it, we host our own tournaments. We have the power. We could try and force some of the new maps instead. Again, just for testing purposes. That's something to think about. Something to think about. For the time being, though, it is going to be just a standard best of 5. For the time being, it is going to be a gate expand into a cybercore here for Fujimi. Meanwhile, Future going for a Rax expand setup here. So overall, very economic starts here. Future even going for the CC before gas. Very greedy opener. So Rax expand into the gas, guys, or gasless opener essentially out of Future. Very greedy, but the greed is what we expect to be seeing. Bunker here on the low ground. We skipped the Reaper as well because it was a gasless opener, so we can't afford a Reaper. It is going to be Marine first, and it's a game of greed. How many corners? How many corners can we cut? That is how games are played on Raditz Station. We're not playing StarCraft. We're playing Raditz Station. Oh, let's go. Back at home, it's going to be a Stargate opener. Makes plenty of sense. Stargate opener to gain map control, to harass, to scout, to keep an eye on the Terran player, and to just gain map control. For Jumi, already mining through these middle patches here in the pocket base, taking his expansion, of course, already, and will soon be working towards his third. Meanwhile, Future is moving out with a handful of Marines. Only a handful, just trying to catch maybe a scouting probe, maybe a stray unit. Does pull back. Remember, it was a gasless opener to begin with, so we're following it up with a 3 racks. A very aggressive follow-up. I'm not sure if I'm in love with this. We'll see, as the base is soon going to be, there we go, landed on location. The way this works is we're building up quite a large bioforce, and we're going to be hitting a timing. We're going to be hitting a timing with stim, with, of course, that major upgrade. The problem here is that the rush distance by ground is long. It's a very long rush distance here on Raditz Station, so this push, this timing is going to be a little bit weaker because the map is working against Future. It means that this may not achieve too much. It is a good way to be aggressive, though, and a good way to make use of, delayed gases, at least early on, from Future. We'll see if he's able to achieve much with this. We'll see if he gets scattered or not, as the Phoenix does get across the map. We get eyes on the Marines. We dive into the main base. We get eyes on the second and the third racks. We see everything we need to. Big scout here for Jumi, fully aware of what's going on. And back at home, setting up for Phoenix Colossus. Now, because he scouted this build from Future, we should be seeing a safety shield battery here at the ramp and a safety immortal as well. At least I imagine so. Again, I'm unfamiliar with the timings on this map. It's possible you could get away with skipping the immortal and still going Colossus first. It's hard to say. I mean, we're here to find out. We're here to see what the response is. There's the Bay for Jumi. Again, we're working towards fast Colossus. The push should be hitting first, at least on a standard map. On this one, we'll see if we can get away with skipping out on the Immortal, because we are skipping the Immortal. here we go. Marines are pushing out across the map. Stim still on the way. Not quite done yet, but we are sending out reinforcements. Again, Future looking to try and move out across the map. There's that Immortal on the way, so we won't skip it. They have a second pylon. I'm expecting a shield battery. There we go. Shield battery now in production here at the ramp as well. So for Jimmy, he should be pretty heavily fortified. He should be okay. You can see the Marines, they're basically trying to hunt down that Phoenix, or those Phoenixes. As they reveal themselves across the map, Future is pushing in. Stim is now done. And does he risk pushing up the ramp? He is not. Okay, so I like this approach here. So Future is getting a third. He's throwing down the third base. He's getting concussive shield. What? He's getting combat shields. SCVs are going to get picked up, and Future, he is actually reinforcing. He's going to be committing. Uh-oh. SCVs are going down, but can Forjumi survive back at home? That is the question. Colossus is halfway done. It is halfway done. We have 4 Adepts, we have 1 Immortal, we have 1 Sentry. Force fields are going to be crucial to defend. And Future, he's getting ready for a big stim up the ramp. And we'll see if he can get up there. We'll see how fast the reactions are for Forjumi. Again, we do see the scan. Colossus comes out just in time, and we deter the army. Phew. Again, we can see here that it took a little bit too long to get across the map. The Colossus comes out literally just in time, just at the right moment. We'll lose the Phoenix, but the Marines, they cannot touch this. Not anymore. Not with the Colossus. So far, so good. Forjumi, he defends. Future has to back off. He's taking his third base. So is Forjumi. Forjumi's third is already saturated. It's already up and running. And Future, he still maintains his bio army. That's what's important. He may have missed his stim timing, but now he can hit a medevac timing. Still has all these Marines left over. And here we go. Double drop into the main base. We will be dropping on in. Probes are going to be going down. Lane reaction here out of Forjumi's out of position. Is out of position. Forced to recall back home. Phoenixes, oh, they get pounced upon. 2 Phoenixes fall. And with that, Future does quite a bit of damage, and he will escape. Remember, no blink here for Forjumi, and only 1 Phoenix remains. So Future, he pops up, gets 5 worker kills, backs up from there. Ooh, catches another stray unit. That's going to be 4 dead Phoenixes in total. And just like that, Forjumi, he's lost map control. Just like that, Forjumi, he's stuck on his 3 bases. And can he take a 4th? That becomes a question. Can he expand? Can he take another base? As Future is rallying everything across the map. Is going to be threatening a dive here. Or threatening a drop into the main, into the pocket base. Threatening a push here at the natural as well. Colossi are in position. Likewise, we have another Colossus here at the pocket base as well. So with that, Forjumi should be able to hold on. As I say that, we pounce up on the Colossus. We get 1. We get a second Colossus as well. Too much DPS. The Marauders, they put in so much hurt on those Colossi. And with that, Future, he is breaking through. At the same time, drop into the pocket base as well. And Forjumi's being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart. We have a couple of Zealots. But they're slow lots. They're waddling in. Good target firing on the Stalkers. We drop into the main. And we're getting even more damage done. Forjumi, he just cannot keep up. Probes are falling left and right. The Colossus almost went down, barely survives. And Future is getting out of control, depowering some of these gateways. Gets even more Stalkers. He gets another Phoenix. 1 left. And he barely doesn't get the final Phoenix. He gets shut down, but that was well worth it. That's 14 dead workers, 2 dead Colossi, and how much more? Let's quickly double check. Oh god, 9 Stalkers, 14 workers, the Colossi as well, 2 Sentries, very nice damage by Future. Behind this, he's getting his 4th base on location. No 4th insight yet from Forjumi. He's still rebuilding, remaxing. He may go for the gold. Yeah, knocking down these rocks does give you access to the gold base, and that would be a good way to bounce back, but it's a very risky base to take. Bold move here by Forjumi. I assumed it was for the gold, but no, he's taking the linear base instead. Okay, I see you. Now, this base, it's a bit of a give and take. On the one hand, it is a little bit more exposed, but we have the Zonaga. We can spot the army moving out. Likewise, here on the right-hand side, we're spread too thin. as we just saw, it's a little bit difficult to actually spread out your army and defend multiple locations at once. This makes things a little bit more centralized. So we're going to have a more focused defense here on the left-hand side. Likewise, Future just rebuilding, remaxing, working on +1 ship weapons for Vikings, working on his Ghost production, as the Ghost Academy's already done. And Future, he's already got a death ball of an army to work with. And for Jumi, he's in trouble. He is in quite a bit of trouble right now. Mindjo comes in. No reaction. No. Ooh, 3 probes go down here at the pocket base. We drop into the main as well. For Jumi, later reactors, we're focusing on the front lines. Focusing on the main push. Nova does not quite connect. We get an adept. Another mine shot went off. 5 more probes go down. And again, for Jimmy having a very hard time keeping up, but he does hold on to his 4th. That's what's important. The 4th base gets up and running, getting fully saturated. Future, he just rotates over. Ooh, and very little to defend here. 1 disruptor. 1 disruptor, 1 Nova's in position. The Phoenix will come across the army. We see. Nova gets a ghost. There's 1 disruptor, and we're going for the dive! And are we looking? We're not. We're not paying attention. Disruptor goes down. The natural base has been broken for Jimmy racing on over. But again, a little bit too far out of position, and the natural base is going to go down. Big pickoff. Future gets 14 probes, gets the base, and will retreat. From here, he's rallying his reinforcements. Looking to try and break down that 4th. Pylon goes down for Jumi. He's supply blocked, and Future is about to max out. He's about to reach that 200 supply. Doom drop into the main base. And it's just a numbers game at this point. For Jumi just doesn't have the numbers to defend. Cannot keep up. Not with Future. Shows the Novas. Oh, they will not connect. Big EMP, good target firing. Bold move out of Future. We do a bit of friendly fire as well, and Future is popping off again. He's forcing mistakes. He's just pulling apart the attention of Forjumi. And Forjumi again. He might be able to hold on to his main base, but he's already lost so much. GG gets called, and Future will take game number 1. GG. A very solid game there out of Future. Very solid game. Also, I do apologize. Again, it's a best of 5. I do think I accidentally posted a best of 7. There we go. But it is going to be that best of 5. And Future takes a 1-0 lead. Whew. You get a very nice lead from Future. But again, was able to make full use of Radisson Station. It's quite a large map. And it can be difficult to actually defend and split your attention and hold on to your fringe bases. Did pull his opponent apart. And with that, we have a 1-0 lead. We have a 1-0 lead here for Future. And the question becomes, where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Again, it is going to be for Jimmy's map pick. It is loser's pick, so for Jimmy does have that advantage. What map exactly? Oh, and we have our map of choice. It is going to be Equilibrium. Okay. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Equilibrium here as a game number 2. Let's go. Diving on in. I saw someone asking, is there like any history behind these 2 players? Is there a reasoning behind the show match itself? I don't believe there is. I don't believe there is like any kind of big backstory here. I think again, Kashim was just trying to find like a nice pairing of players, you know, players that are around the same skill level that will produce for a good series. I don't think it's like a grudge match or anything like that, from my understanding. But, you know, if Kashim wants to add a little bit of flavor text, then go ahead. Let us know. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have our blue Protoss player from the land of Germany representing his new team, Freiburg Esports. It is for Jimmy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing Matcherino Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Future. Yeah, we have hosted show matches in the past that do have a little bit more story behind them. That has happened in the past, definitely. And we could even have it happen nowadays as well. But for the most part, again, not too sure if there's any kind of beef between these two players by any means. I don't know. I mean, one's Terran, one's Protoss. So what more could you ask for, right? Like, I mean, Cap. They both were talking about a best of 69 earlier. You know, if Kashim is keen to make it happen, then I think both for Jimmy and Future, they're willing. They're willing to take part. They're willing to 69. It's gonna be beautiful. As for Jimmy, yo, with Equilibrium, that does give access to the goal base, and we are going for it. Okay. Again, this is something we see quite often in TVP on this map specifically. Equilibrium does have these goal bases, and just like how we saw in Royal Blood in the last map pool in the last season, yeah, it's so much more commonplace here to just take the natural as your gold. Meanwhile, Future going for a proxy. Let's go. That is a proxy factory, by the way. Are we planning to float into the main? Papi. Okay, my eyes are on Future. Proxy factory across the map. Now I wonder, this could just be a proxy factory into a proxy starport, into like a Hellion drop into the main, or we could be floating into the main base. Other options could be factory back at home, mass cyclone. Could be double factory, mass cyclone all in. That has been featured against Zerg players. Could do well against Protoss, especially against this kind of build. Here we go. It looks like the SCV is rallied over towards the corner, so it looks like we want to throw down another building. We're floating in! We're floating into the main base. Armory on the way. We're going for oh, wow, my God. We're going for proxy mines, but I think we can see. We spot the factory. Jimmy, he sees. He has eyes on this, and he will not let this get underway. Future, the disrespect. Oh, my God. Adept is out. He does confirm the gold. We're going for an armory. Now, the armory means we need detection. We need detection. Robo's on the way. Already, for Jimmy, he realized what's going on. Robo's on the way to deal with this. Widow mines are amassing. First one is coming out, and can it burrow in time? Oh, it's gonna be close. And it does. Does burrow in time. Mine shot goes up. Armory isn't done. A couple of seconds away. Big moment there for Jimmy. Does kill the first mine. Reapers, they roke up at the natural. Shield battery is done. Probes are kept alive. Another Widow mine on the way. Up! We need to burrow it. And it looks like we will burrow in time. Jimmy, not paying attention. Big shot. 9 probes go down in an instant at the same time. Adepts, they were also harassing across the map. Shield battery was forced. Good control so far to Future. Rallying out to another Widow mine. Again, just trying to pull apart the attention of for Jimmy. The armory this time is done. The mine, no, it gets in. No shot. Does get in. Nice control there out of for Jimmy. Does pull away. Does bait out the mine shot. And hey, the goal base is up and running. So even though we are denying mining time here, yeah, we clean up all the Widow mines. Observer is out. And for Jimmy will shut this down. He will clean this up. Oh no. Up. The scan. Oh no, shot 1 second too late. He was going for the observer, but he misses. Well, again, it was killed just in time. Shot doesn't go off, and Future, this build has kind of fallen on its face. It's fallen on its face here. Back at home, he's trying to expand, trying to transition, going for a 3-1-1 setup. And again, he needs to punish this gold. This gold base is huge for Jimmy. His economy is still sound because of the gold, and it needs to be denied. He's going to be getting in. The Adept goes down. Ooh, we do overextend. For Jumi, a bit of miscontrol. Adept does fall, but the Stalkers are still standing strong. And he does attempt to focus down that medevac. Medevac taking a lot of hits. And it falls. Good pick up. Good pick up from Jumi, but alas, yeah, we're reinforcing with more Stalkers. Future, he's running out of steam, bleeding out far too much. Yeah, we even get on top of the Widow Mine. And with that, for Jumi is now snowballing across the map. He's getting out of control. Factory's floating back in, but it's burning down. No! 10 HP, 975, and it does burn down. Factory falls. Reapers, they denied entry to the main base. The army has arrived. And Future just doesn't have much left here. I mean, he's got a handful of Marauders, and hey, the bunker does finish. He's going to be able to hold on. Liberating the main base, gets 6 probe kills, getting very chaotic. Observer gets sniped. Keen eyes there at the Future. Once again, attempts to punish that gold, but he won't be able to. Blink is done in 5 seconds. We can dive into the main. There are Marauders lying in wait, but there's no bunker. No bunker, no tanks. Only Marauders. Can we deny Stim? We're going for combat shields. Oh, it's so close. He gets it. Does deny combat shields. He was hoping that it was Stim, I'm sure. Stim would have been huge. Combat shields, it's okay. It's okay. Denying that upgrade, but Stim will finish. Getting a little bit unlucky there for Jumi. Was unlucky there. As for Jumi is freely taking a third. Again, for Jumi, he has map control. He's containing Future here to 2 bases, and Future can't push out too easily. With Stim, he can try to dive on top of this army, but for the most part, he is going to be stuck at home. Skin once again. Future, my god, he's crazy. He sees everything. Takes down the Observer. Marauders are moving out. Reapers likewise trying to get some scouting information. And Future, he can finally break free, finally force back Jumi. Does force him back home. Across the map, we're going for a gateway heavy composition. So we're not going for Colossi, we're not going for Immortals. It's going to be Blink Stalkers into Charge Lots into Archons. So very gateway heavy to make use of the gold. Does make sense. He's going to have an abundance of minerals, so why not spend it on Zealots? Meanwhile, those 2 Reapers from early on are still alive, by the way. Very nice control out of out of Future. Trading very well here, getting 4 probes. These Marauders, though, yeah, they cannot fight, not against this. I mean, we're running out of Zealots, though. Only 3 Zealots. They do go down. But Jumi has to respect the Marauders. Meanwhile, did I say 4 probe kills? 8 probes! Oh my god! 8 probes for 2 Reapers. Very good trade here from Future. He's getting his 3rd base on location, working towards the next step. Ghost Academy, +1. Have we researched combat shields? We have. Okay, combat shields is done. We do have it. Future building up, but for Jumi, he's pushing. It's his turn to be aggressive. It's his turn to really make use of his 3-base setup. We have Archons, we have Stalkers, we have a Prism to reinforce with Zealots. And that's gonna be a lot of Zealots. We don't have any bunkers set up. This is gonna be a tough hold for Future. Yeah, we dive on the army. Late Stim, late reaction. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. One of the Archons not quite adding to the fight. Future going to be bleeding out 6 SCVs. Bleeding out a couple of workers. For Jumi reinforcing, coming in once again. Trying to dive on the army. A little bit haphazard there. Force fields are thrown down. Yeah, and much better engaged here out of Jumi. He does get 12 SCVs. Gets a couple of Archon shots here on the bio. For Jumi going to pull back. Meanwhile, across the map, the Liberators have arrived. Oh, they do threaten a dive. They threaten it. For Jumi retreating. Now, for Jumi, he does have a worker lead and he's taking a 4th. Trying to maintain his economic advantage. When it comes to the resources lost here, we did lose an Archon, which is a little bit brutal. Outside of that, only gateway units. 13 zealots. But we can see the future, he is stabilizing in a sense. He's holding on to his third, getting it up and running, getting it up. And for Jimmy, can't quite push in, not with this kind of army. Is he paying attention? The Archons! We get one. Good pickup. Good snipe there from a future. Meanwhile, Zella warping into the main base. Zella run by here into the natural as well. SCs are pulling left and right. And for Jimmy, it's his turn to pull apart future. But barely unable to. Does get a good amount of SCVs and gets a couple of units as well. Meanwhile, across the map, focusing on our liberated defense. And for Jimmy does keep up. But the Stalkers! For Jimmy, as he's paying attention back at home, he leaves his army idle and Stalkers go down. It's a pretty expensive loss there from for Jimmy. How many? That was 7 Stalkers getting caught. And cutting the Stalker count in half, and we do get another big warp in into the main base. It was happening off screen. But we get the warp in, and GG gets called. Future taps out, and for Jimmy, ties it up. GG. I feel like a Future may have tried to just commit and go all in with his army. He had a comparable army size, but what did tap out, he was out of position. Another Zella warping into the main base, and we're going to the ace match. Oh, ace match? My apologies. We are in a tied up series. I'm used to all these best of threes. I'm used to all the best of threes, but not best of 5. Best of 5. GG. We don't even get a final fight between the players, as Future did sustain too much economic damage. And with that, bam, we're getting into our next game. The question becomes, what map? Future map pick. Okay. Here we go. We have our answer. It is going to be hard lead. Hard lead equilibrium. Beautiful. Just making sure we're all set up. GLHF. Ooh, and we're in a tied up series, but that was a chaotic game 1. Sorry, that was a chaotic game number 2, with Future going for the proxy factory into a float into the main with the armory. Like, it was a wild build out of Future. It did kind of fall on its face a little bit. I mean, I say that there was a good mind shot in there, but for the most part, Fujimi handled himself well in that position. Future was doing a good job at bouncing back and getting a lot of counter damage done, but at the end of the day, Fujimi had a massive economic lead on 4 bases with a gold. And Fujimi did snowball out of control. And now we're getting into game number 3. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of hard lead, we have our green Protoss player representing Freiburg Esports, tying up the series 1-1. It is for Jimmy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran player, the Red Terran representing Maturino Esports. It is Future. Here we go. After a chaotic game 2, we're calming things down a little bit here in game number 3. No proxies. Not yet, at least. No proxies yet here from Future. Now, what I love about Future is that he does come up with his own builds. He's very similar to Estrella, if you're familiar with Estrella. Very similar to him, where he comes up with his own builds. He can be very chaotic and very unorthodox at times, which is why I do always appreciate casting him. As for Jimmy, setting up for what looks to be a proxy Stargate. Show us the pylon. Show us that pylon. There we go. Cybercore is thrown down. Pylon is soon to be on the way. Now, based on this positioning, as it is going to be a Rax... Oh my... Gasless opener once again. He's crazy. Now, Future went for this build on Radisson Station, game 1, if you remember, he did go for a gaseous opener, which made sense because Radisson Station, it's all about greed, it's all about cutting corners, but Future, he does it here on Hardlead, one of the smallest maps, the shortest rush distance map in the map pool. He's crazy. Bold move here out of Future. Meanwhile, again, this should be a Stargate. Should be. No, it's going to be a Twilight Council. DTs? This feels like Dark Templar. There's no reason to hide the Twilight Council unless we're going for Dark Templar. No! As I'm losing connection to BattleNet, I'm right here. Hello. Like, no. I'm connected to OBS. I'm connected to Twitch. Like, it's fine, but it looks like I'm... Oh, okay, we're back. Okay. I'm good. Okay, let him know. Okay, we almost lagged out of the game, but we're back. I assumed that this was going to be proxy Dark Templar because there's no reason to proxy the Twilight Council otherwise. Twilight Council's on the way, Robo being proxied as well. And hopefully everything's okay. Twilight Council's on... Okay, we're good. Just making sure. But back at her, because it was a gasless opener, it's 3 racks. It's going to be 3 racks Master Marine. There's the Dark Shrine on the way for Jimmy. Let's go. It is on the way from our Protoss player here. So it is going to be Proxy DT. Now, Proxy Dark Shrine against 3 racks Marine. I'm curious. How does this play out? I mean, it's going to depend on the scans, right? It's going to depend on how many scans do we have available. What do we have to work with? As we do have Jimmy just threading across the map. Now, Future, the biggest concern here is that Future isn't harassing across the map. Or I should say, no scouts. No SCV scouts, no Reaper scout, no nothing across the map for Future. So he has no idea what's going on. He has no idea what to prepare for. And this could catch him out. This could catch him off guard. So I am concerned. And yes, I am Emil. Hey, look, now that I'm in Poland, I am Emil embodied. Smooch. Not like this. Here we go. Prism threatening the main base. Do we have a scan? We're building up energy both on the main base and at the natural. We will soon... Yeah, we have 2 scans available. 2 scans in our bases. DTs are waddling in. We do Mule! We have 1 scan. 1 scan left. 1 scan and 3 DTs. This could be too much. Again, this scan is going to be so important, but SCVs are going down. 6 worker kills already. Boys, no, 0 mining whatsoever. We have 1 scan. We kill 1 DT, but that's all we had left. We only had 1 scan. GG gets called, and just like that, for Jimmy takes a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Haha. GG, well played. Again, only 1 scan available. That's all we had. Too many Dark Templar. And with that, for Jimmy is 1 game away from taking the entire show match. In style. One más. 1 more is all he needs. Now, personally, I want this to go the ace match. I want this to go the distance here, but I mean, the pressure is now on Future. The pressure is on Future. Oh boy. Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Okay, we have our map. Oceanborn. We're going to be loading into Oceanborn as our next map. Potentially the final map of the series. I'm hoping we can go longer. I'm hoping we can get a game 5. But again, the pressure is on GLHF. And hopefully our internet stays stable and doesn't disrupt the players. I do apologize for what happened earlier and how we were lagging out of the game, but that was literally our connection to BNet. Like, I was fine here. Like, like we were fine, Papi. Just, yeah, connection to BattleNet a little bit unstable. Hopefully it does stay connected as we're getting into game 4. Again, winding it back, it was just a really greedy opener out of Future. 0 scouting information. Zero preparation available there from our Terran because he had no reason to be prepared, and with that he's up against the wall and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our American Terran player. Oh, hold on. My apologies. I didn't even realize. This is not ESL Open Cup Asia. There we go. Representing Maturino Esports, the American Terran, the pressure is on. He needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. He needs your support in the chat. It is Future. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Teal Protoss player from Lena, Germany, representing Freiburg Esports. Getting proxied. It is for Jimmy. For Jimmy, coming in with the probe scouts, does get eyes on the missing racks, is aware that it's at least not in the ramp, and something important to bear in mind is that in this matchup, it is not uncommon for Terran players to hide their racks in the main. So for Jimmy, he checks the main base, he has to check the natural, he has to check the third. Again, Terran players can go for fake proxy racks, so for Jimmy is checking. Meanwhile, it is a real proxy racks. We have taken 2 gases. Are we going Marauder? I'm curious what we're going to be spending our resources on and whether we go for a more committed proxy. Okay, it's going to be Reaper. Going to be Proxy Reaper, which means we're going to be transitioning back at home. This should be leading to a factory back at home, and this SV has a goal. It's going to be coming in for a bunker, but alas, we have a delayed Nexus here. We have a Zealot first on the way from Jumi. Very safe play. There's that Nexus, but the SCV is denied the bunker. Again, really good reaction so far. SCV is being chased away, so there's no bunker in the mineral line. Reaper's coming out. And again, this Zealot comes out just so we can force a cancel in the bunker if it was being built. So really safe play out of Jumi. Gets a swipe on the Reaper. Across the map. Oh! We get some worker on worker violence. Probe does escape. Reaper is going for a probe kill. Looks like we got one. One probe goes down. We might get a second worker as well. Looks like we will. 2 probes full. Adept has arrived. We're going to be zoning the Reaper away, but so far good damage dealt here by Future. Getting 2 probes. So now he gets joined by a second Reaper. Oh! Going back in once again, bypassing the Adept. Does dive into the main base. I'm only going to get at least another probe. Oh, this is becoming a bit much. It was 2 probe kills, now it's up to 4. Oh, 4, now 5 probe kills. Back at home, we have our factory, getting into our 1-1-1 setup, going to our ACC on the high ground. It's a very good trade so far by Future. Gonna get a 6th probe. Gonna get a 6th. We're gonna get a 7th towards the end. As they finally clean this up. For Jimmy will finally shoot these or shut these down. Does knock down 1 Reaper, but not the other. And I'm afraid to look at the unit slots tab. Yeah, 7 probe kills. 1 Reaper and 1 Hellion. A very nice start for Future. Very good start. And we're not done. We're committing. We're going for a mine drop follow-up with an armory. What does that mean? At least in the current patch. In the future patch, this is going to be different, but we are committing here, and detection is going to be required. And there is no detection. Not yet, at least. We do have a robo on the way for Jumi. With this robo, it gives access to observers to detection, and we need it desperately. Is it going to come out in time? Because here comes the mine drop. Wood mines across the map. Robo is on the way. And what kind of damage can Future find? Reaper headed towards that natural base, towards that mineral line. Does get eyes on the Robo. He sees. Does spot the Robo, which means this shouldn't end the game. But damage is still going to be done. Yeah, we boost into the main base. Observers on the way. And we will deny some mining time. Oof. Yeah, 3 probes so far. You can see here the observers being chronoed. Drop into the natural. Up. Ooh, 4 probe kills in total, and this is a pretty big investment from Future. Like 3 Widow Mines being thrown away like this, armory as well. It's not going to be quite worth it. Yeah, we shut them down. The game will progress. It was a bold move out of Future, and it could have ended the game if we skipped the Robo. If the Robo was any later, then maybe we get extra shots, but alas, there was detection. For Jumi does hold. And now it's time to move out. Now, what do we have to work with here? We have 4 gates. We have 4 gateways. We don't have Blink. We have Charge. It looks like a very committed 2-base Charge play here from Jumi. He's moving out. 3rd base is being thrown down. But here comes that drop. Here come those Zealots. Stim halfway done. Not done yet. Which means we can pop off. There we go. We get the warping into the main. Future doesn't see. He doesn't know. It's barely out of vision. But he does have a tank. Yeah, we dive on the army anyway. We don't even care. Marines are being forced back. The tank is going to go down. SCVs are being pulled. The friendly fire is brutal. Yeah, big tank shots going off. Quite a lot of lost mine time here in the main. The Zealots will eventually be cleaned up. Another Broader. Broader goes down. Big warping into the main base. It does barely finish. Prism falls. But we get 6 SCVs, and we're not done. We're not done. Not yet. Forced to repair. More denied mining time. Oh, in Future, he's in quite a bit of trouble here. 8 SCV kills. We do clean up all these Zealots, thankfully. But Jimmy has a nice lead. He's up in workers. He's got a 3rd base, so he's going to extend that worker lead. Storm is on the way. Forge for +1. Working on Shajal Archon and Storm. Here we go. We are boosting out. Future quite committed with this. Now, we do have Stim. We have Stim. We have Disable with the Raven. There's potential with this drop, but Future is behind, and he needs to get damage done. And Storm is finishing in 10 seconds. Oh boy. Here we go. We have to hit here and now. And can we somehow get on top of those High Templar? Drop does arrive, but a big storm on the army. Massive storms as well. We take down a medevac. We barely don't get the other. Tank survives at least, but that was brutal. That was a brutal loss there. Future, he barely gets away with a handful of units. Jimmy a little bit afraid of the drop coming back. But if he knew how battered and bruised this army was, Jimmy could chase this down. Gonna be chilling back at home. Future licking his wounds, building up. 3rd CC is on the way. He's not out of this yet. Yeah, the name of the game, Turtle. Name of the game is just fortify ourselves, get a 3rd, get a 4th. Try to macro out of this. We're going to be leaving the tanks back at home. We're moving out with the bio. Like, we have to be active in some way. But again, not going to be easy. Can we somehow catch the High Templar? Again, that's going to be another big moment here for Future. Does get eyes on the would-be 4th. Jimmy's paying attention. Yeah, it will force us back. Gets a Marauder. The entire army rotating over, actually. And how many High Templar? 5. At least 1 storm each. That's a lot of storms. And we're pushing. Jimmy is moving out across the map. Future, again, in quite a bit of trouble. He has a big portion of his army out on the map, not at home. What do we have? 3 tanks, a handful of Widow Mines, a pretty solid defensive position. Really nice Sim City. What about the storms? Yeah, the base is going to be denied. We dive on top of the army. Yeah, the 1st and 2nd tank going to be going down. And the tanks, they fall one after the other. We don't even use a storm. Yeah, we have plenty of storms saved up. We deny the 3rd base. Future is going in across the map, doing whatever he can. But there's no reason to recall. There's no reason to come back home. I mean, we're going to lose a lot of probes, to be fair. But show us the storm. Oh my god. Massive storms on the army and on the workers as well. Oh, Jesus. As we just rain down on the army of Future. The bio, it melts. It's barely standing here. For Jumi snowballing out of control across the map with a handful of zealots he is defending. We still have a couple of Marines, a couple of Marauders, but another big storm here on Future is going to be enough. GG gets called, and for Jumi will take this series 3-1, claiming this best of 5 show match. GG. GG, well played here. Very well played by Jumi. It was a chaotic series, is what I will say. We had Proxy Factory into a Mine Drop. We had Proxy DTs as well out of for Jumi. It was wild. It was insane. Congratulations. Congratulations here to Jumi for taking it in the end. Was a bit of a short series, is what I will say, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Very chaotic. It's what we like here. Tis what we like. GG. GG. Oh. I'm messaging Jumi. I'm messaging. What were you thinking when you saw the factory on Equilibrium? Aye, aye, aye. Oh god. I'm like, what are we thinking? And he's like, widow memes. It's like widow memes, but I was okay. I had the gold base, which is true, right? We were talking about it. Like, he had the gold, and the gold wasn't punished on Equilibrium. Oh. And Fujimi is letting us know that that if it was a ladder map, he would have left that last game because of the early game, because he was losing so much of the Reapers. If you remember, the Reapers, they killed, what was it, 7 probes? Like 7 probes went down in the early game. Like, that was a solid early game out of Future, killing 7 workers that early on. And yeah, Jumi, he's letting us know that he would have left the game if if it was a ladder game. But he stayed in it. He persevered. He survived. Just messaging. He's like, I got lucky. So I got lucky, Papi. True, true. The standard esport, the pro gamer Korean answer. Ah, just lucky. Much respect. GG. GG. But with that, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Again, it was only a best of 5. I was hoping for a full game 5 series, but again, it does go the way for Jumi, so congratulations. For those that are curious, again, it is 40 USD for the winner and 10 USD for second place for the runner-up. So both players will walk away with some money, but of course, for Jumi walks away with the big bulk of it. So congratulations to For Jumi. My condolences to Future, but a very entertaining series, a very chaotic one. It was a lot of fun. It was amazing. GG, well played. Again, just a bit of a shorter broadcast here. Only the one best of 5. What I will say is that if you are still unsatiated, if you still want some more StarCraft, in 2 hours time, we're going to be back again with ESL Open Cup Europe. It's a full day of casting. So earlier today we casted ESL Asia. Now here we are with our show match. And in 2 hours, ESL Open Cup Europe. So give me your strength, Papi. Give me your strength. I'm going to be casting all day today, all day. Now, thankfully, we get a couple of hours break, so I'm going to take that time to just get some rest. I just showered. Fun fact, I just showered after East Asia, and I'm just going to take a break. Just going to get some rest, and then we'll be back with ESL Europe. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Forjumi. We might even see some future. We might even see some future as well in tonight's weekly. It's possible. Tis possible. But outside of that, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. If you enjoyed this tournament, if you enjoyed this show match, I should say, give some love to Kashim. Give some love to Kashim, as Kashim is, of course, organizing these, and without Kashim, these events would not be possible. Not just Kashim, but also, I believe, I think Matcherino is sponsoring. Am I crazy? Matcherino? Yes? No? Maybe? There is a Matcherino page. There we go. There we go. There is a Matcherino page, so you can support this show match if you're in the chat. Go. I did get all these buff Protoss requests. I play in low masters, and DUP is really tough. 70% of my games. These buffs are not for low masters. These buffs are for pro play. And if you're curious about that, it is the consensus amongst the community, both Terran, Protoss, and Zerg alike, that TVP is in a bit of a rough position right now, especially when you look at the highest level of play. At the moment, Protosses have been struggling a lot and been struggling for quite some time against Terran, which is why the next patch is going to be addressing that specifically. And again, I should emphasize that it is more of a consensus among everyone that something has to be done about the matchup, and it is great to see that that it is being addressed in some way. So I'm looking forward to those changes. Do hope that it does help the scene out quite a bit more, and does help Protoss representation, especially in some of these bigger events. Of course, you know, balance is very varying at other levels of play, whether it's Masters, whether it's even low GM, whether it's even mid GM. There's a lot of variance, definitely. Again, a lot of these changes are more focused on the highest level of play, less so on, you know, us here at lower levels and lower leagues. And there is, of course, going to be a trickle-down effect. There is going to be a trickle-down effect, and it is going to help Protosses at all levels, to be fair, when it comes to the eventual changes. Likewise, referring to TVZ, they are also going to be addressing that as well when it comes to Infestors, which is going to be a big one. I love the change to Infestors. I love that they're going to be making it more visible, and they're going to allow for counterplay. If you're interested in our thoughts, we actually posted a podcast yesterday. We did post a podcast going over all the patch notes and going over all the changes. The podcast, episode 12, was posted yesterday on YouTube. So if you're interested, you can hear us there. Otherwise, yeah. Hope you all enjoy yourselves. Hope you all have a great time. We're going to be heading off. We'll be back in 2 hours. Until then, thanks for watching. We'll give another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who. We just raided Mr. Sadsack earlier. He still actually has quite a lot of viewers from the raid. So we'll find. Can we find someone else to send our love to? Otherwise, we'll just raid Sadsack again. Who do we got? We have... I saw Strange streaming. But he mainly streams in Russian, not in English. We'll just give it to Sadsack again. Yeah, let's go. Give it to him again. Oh, good. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, with that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys in 2 hours for some ESL Makeup Europe. Again, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, ! Socials in the chat, ! Patreon in the chat as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego.